Hello everyone, welcome back to Bandits Tarot by Seraphic Pathways. Thank you for joining me in this video tonight. This is going to be another intuitive psychic reading on the Gabby Petio case. We're going to be taking a look at the relationship between her and Brian Laundrie, what could have possibly occurred, and what were the things that led up to what happened. So first things first, I would like to throw out that this video is for entertainment purposes only. As I always state, they should not be taken as facts. Do your own research and diligence on the things that I am talking about in this video. But also, let's not forget about who the real victim here is, which is Gabby. Okay. But the main thing that is important at the current moment is finding Brian Laundrie. So anyone that, I know there's a lot of conversations that happen and that's been happening in the recent videos that I've been posting. So if anyone has any information that they think, is helpful to the FBI or local law enforcement, I encourage you to reach out, okay, provide anything that is helpful. But as far as this video goes, it is for entertainment purposes only. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into this reading. Okay, so one of the first questions that I do want to ask is, how was Brian Laundrie's treatment towards Gabby Petito in the time that they were together? Okay. We have the Five of Cups that popped out here. Disappointment. Disappointing. So either he was disappointed or she was disappointed or they were both disappointed. I was doing a pre-spread as I normally do before I actually get on camera and record these videos. And one thing that was popping out in the cards, especially on Brian's end, was he had a hard time of commitment. Meaning that he had his hands in multiple different pots where he could be dealing with other people, and that he could have been dealing with other people in the time of the relationship. But ultimately, someone here was disappointed. The Nine of Swords. Yeah, and it was causing a lot of it was causing a lot of stress on both ends of their spectrum. So we have the Nine of Swords that popped out here. We also had the Ace of Wands. To me, this is reading as a cycle. Like, it was a reoccurring cycle that he had with Gabby. And it was almost like idealization, devaluation. I mean, all the typical narcissistic tendencies. I know that some people are speculating him to be a sociopath or psychopath. I really didn't do much research into Brian Laundrie. It's not until I actually, I did a little bit and I read a few things, but I didn't hear what some people were saying in the comments or just telling me. But yeah, it's really coming across as him having this reoccurring cycle with her. Someone here is idealizing the person, the Two of Cups. the Queen of Cups. Push-pull dynamic. He got off on it. Something in him liked to fight, like provoke fights with her, and that got him off in a sick, twisted way. Another thing about Brian that's coming through here is, as much as he claimed to love his, which clearly, you know, I don't want to like, you know, get too bold about this, but I'm just saying what he does, his actions speak louder than words. He claims to have loved his fiance. He was lying to himself. Like, this is more self-deception. That was another thing that I was seeing on his part. So to answer the question, it was kind of like an unhealthy push-pull dynamic that he had with Gabby. Yeah, lots of passion. And whenever I say passion, I mean like passion. Like, they were very passionate when it comes to their arguments. When it came to their arguments, there was a lot of emotion behind it on both ends, not only his end, but her end too. And as a result, it just came like, you know, it wasn't resulting to anything productive. It just kept on repeating the same thing over and over, because both parties were blinded to this cycle. So let's ask now, did Brian Laundrie ever get physical with Gabby Petito and their arguments and their disagreements and their conflicts? Did he ever get physical? There was a card that flipped out. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups here. I haven't taken a look at Gabby's natal chart. I've taken a look at Brian's, but I haven't taken a look at Gabby's. So someone comment below if you all know or if you've done research on Gabby Petito's natal chart, because the Queen of Cups is popping out here. So, and I'm reading that as her, but okay. The High Priestess. So, as a short answer, yes. I don't know the severity of it, but yes, he has been physical. Allegedly. It takes, he's the type of man that it takes a lot for him to build up to that point of getting aggressive. Or actually, yeah, like he's the type of person that holds a lot of stuff in. So when he's provoked or put in situations where he's having to fight, then it's like that times 10. And his temper, like his anger was extreme. I did take a look at Brian's natal chart, and he has a lot of Scorpio in his chart. Okay, guys, so I pulled up Gabby Petito's natal chart whenever I paused the video, and it looks like, ironic, yeah, she's a sun in Pisces, which describes this Queen of Cups. Moon in Aries, Mercury in Pisces, Venus in Taurus, Mars in Scorpio. That's interesting. So her and Brian had the same Mars sign. They both had Mars in Scorpio, so that explains a lot. And then Jupiter in Aries, Saturn in Taurus, Uranus and Neptune in Aquarius, Pluto in Sagittarius. So yeah, now that I'm actually taking a look at her natal chart, and especially like with the Mars placements, I'm reading this as both of them had bad tempers. Like they actually, to the point where it could become very destructive. Um, yeah, there's something here that he was doing where he was physical, or he's been physical in the past. Like he's laid hands on her. That's what it's coming across as. A lot of earthy energy. So let's now ask what happened on the last night that Gabby Petito was alive. And Gabby can tune in if she wants to. I know this is going to sound kind of irrelevant, but it was a very... Something about the sunset is coming up here. Either it was a very sunny day, or there was a massive sunset, but something about a sunset is coming up here. I just found that to be interesting. So, like on their last night, like the last night that Gabby Petito was alive, her and Brian could have, again, I'm seeing this push and pull dynamic. It was in like the good phase. They were actually having like a good time with each other. They were doing something together with each other, um, like going out to eat. Because I know that a witness claimed to, several witnesses actually claimed to see Brian and Gabby dine in a restaurant or something, and he got into it with the hostess. But I don't know if that's relevant to what I'm talking about here. But I'm definitely seeing them spending time with each other, doing activities. Okay, so they were definitely making some type of plans to go to a destination. And yeah, like there were definitely some type of plans to go to a destination or move to a different town or move to a different different city. Like there were driving involved. Like they were mobile. Something is also coming across here about the final text message that Gabby's mother received. I don't know, the best way for me to describe it as being like her wanting to tell her mother something, like she was in desperate need of telling her mother something. But ultimately whatever she wanted to reveal was not, told. Oh god. Yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm going to end this spread off, but basically what I'm reading, like the final night with that Gabby Petito was alive, or whatever time that she was alive, like the last 24 hours, I'm seeing that her and Brian were in some type of plans to go make a trip, or they were actually making a trip. Um, and that was during the time of her reaching out to her mother. And again, it's like an evening of them spending time together. For some reason, it's coming across as whatever happens, okay, whatever transpired at that time escalated extremely quickly. Like that's one thing that I'm just intuitively getting. The Empress, yeah. Yeah, this is Gabby coming through. Yeah, guys, I'm just gonna show you these cards. We have the Death card and the Empress card that's ending this spread off. Okay, so the final thing that I want to ask, because I know that some people they've been wondering if she was pregnant. So was Gabby Petito pregnant near the time of her death? Was Gabby Petito pregnant during the time of her death? Oh, that's interesting. Uh, okay, so yeah. It's possible. Now, as far as being how far along, I do not know, but and what's creepy is what's really creepy here. This is the first card that I pulled. This is the Devil card. And if you look closely, like you can see where all of this area is surrounded. It's kind of like it's enclosed by a womb. It's possible that she was in the early stages or there was something being conceived. So I don't know. That could be something that comes out later on. If they weren't, if she wasn't pregnant during the time, I'm seeing that there were talks before her death of conceiving a child with Brian. Either Brian wanted this or she wanted this, and I don't think it was Gabby. I think it was Brian. Um, Again, I could be wrong. I could be flat out wrong, but I'm telling you what I see in the cards. Okay, I don't have any problem admitting if I'm wrong or not. And the Three of Pentacles, yeah, whenever I stopped shuffling, so there were definitely talks and there were definitely works, but yeah, I'm curious to know what comes out after that, if I'm right or not. Alright guys, so this has been another intuitive reading. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment below what are your thoughts on what I discussed in this video. What are your thoughts on what you think happened in their relationship? Start a conversation below. Until next time, I will catch you then. Take care of yourself. Namaste.